So, how is everyone? How is everyone? How are you? Oh, there's my image not showing, guys. Look at me, already fludging and dropping the ball this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like I said before, I'm your girl Ashley, aka the Widow, and today we are going to be talking about Moses Ingram and her response to some, toxic fans, in the Star Wars fandom. And we all know that about Macarandum. She even added Macarandum into her story. So that was a little funny piece of thing, that happened. So we'll go over all of that. We'll look at her story and that. But one of the first things that I remember seeing, and like again, we've talked about, was the image that came out from, the video from Macarandum where she called, videos, darkies. It was Operation Darkies, right? That it was real. So, guys. So, but we are going to look at the her response on Twitter. So I'm going to pull that up for you.
what's really crazy is that,
Shout
like,
out
you
to
would
Caden.
think
He's doing this
sci-fi
with
and
his son
fantasy would be the
yesterday. So
most
it's a good
welcoming and the most
story.
accepting genres because they are so frequently storylines that are ridiculous and made up of like aliens and weird shit, comic book shit, and niggas having special powers and all that, things that aren't human. Like, there was no reason.
I don't remember. Like, make it
Don't
sound
even think, just don't even think that you're doing this.
And if the beat live, you know Lil Ju made it. Big ass chain around my neck so these niggas know I'm rich. And I don't need shit but the dick. Big ass stack in this purse so these niggas know I'm working. I'm holding this Glock in my Birkin. Niggas gotta hold that L tryna come for my pen. I'm really finna make another M. Now tell me how the fuck I'm in the wrong if I don't want the nigga and he still ain't fucking with the bitch. I be working, I make moves in silence. Hoes might never like me and I'm fine with it. Nasty, I'm a real nigga fantasy. I'll drop dead for a broke nigga handle me. Do say, this rich bitch energy. Y'all little hoes still drinking that Hennessy. Messy, and I'm y'all trying it. Bitch got receipts, but ain't never finna buy shit. Sorry, hoes hate me cause I'm the it girl. I ain't never asked to be the shit girl. Don't call me sis cause I'm not your sister. You really need to come and get your mister. Seen all my ops linked up in the picture. Everybody look busted, injured. Stuck in my page, bitch probably wanna see her. All in the mouth like I kissed her. I be working, I make moves in silence. Hoes might never like me and I'm fine with it. Nasty, I'm a real nigga fantasy. I'll drop dead for a broke nigga handle me. Do say, this rich bitch energy. Y'all little hoes still
Star Wars, are you happy? Wow, guys. And then she put out this here, which was a response. Let me start it over.
Long story short, there are hundreds of those. Hundreds. And I also see those of you out there who put on a cape for me, and that really does mean the world to me because, you know, there's nothing anybody can do about this. There's nothing anybody can do to stop this hate. And so I question what my purpose is, and even being here in front of you saying that this is happening.
Yeah, I said Caden is, shout out to Caden because he put this on
I don't really know.
Twitter.
I don't really
I
know.
was able to
But I think the thing that bothers me is that, like, sort of this feeling that I've had inside of myself, which no one has told me, but this feeling of like I just gotta shut up and take it. You know, I just kind of gotta go and bear it. And I'm not built like that. So I really just wanted to come on, I think, and say thank you to the people who show up for me in the comments and the places that I'm not gonna put myself. And to the rest of y'all, y'all weird.
What's the most
So that was her response there. And then even, I do want to show you guys this. I might have to readjust my screen for this one here. Then Star Wars. Let me get this. Let me readjust my screen for you guys. Sorry, I got to do this in real time. Then, you know, so then Star Wars actually had their own Star Wars. Disney responded as well to the backlash and the things that people were saying to her, you know, which, again, you think about this, it's really ridiculous that that people are attacking her, you know, and that's why I said, if you have a valid concern or a valid reason why you might not like her performance, I respect that. Hi, Max. Welcome, welcome. I have I have respect. If you have a valid reason. I've heard people say they didn't enjoy her acting performance. Well, that's great, guys. That really is. If that's how you feel, fine. That's your reason. But to then call her ghetto inquisitor and things like this, and Disney stood behind her, and this was their response. Which I think that they learned their lesson, that they need to stand by their actors here. We know what happened with Kelly Marie Tran, And I feel like that they're learning these lessons. And here was their response. It says, "We're proud to welcome Moses Ingram to the Star Wars family and excited for Reva's story to unfold. If anyone intends to make her feel in any way unwelcome, we have only one thing to say: we resist." Yeah. So, I mean, there's that, right, guys? She responded, and I don't blame her. A lot of the times you can deal with this, people coming at you and attacking you, and you feel like when you're in this position, especially because you don't want to be perceived as the angry black woman at times, that you need to be quiet and you just need to take it, right? You just need to smile and take that type of behavior. And that's why when she said in that second, video where she's actually speaking on camera, I really felt that and understood what she was saying, and could sympathize with where she was coming from. Been in the same situation myself where I feel I've just got to take this type of behavior from other people because I didn't want to be perceived that way. I'm not afforded the same way, I can't react in the same way other people can react at times. And I know that even growing up, my mother told me, it sounds a little strange, and I know a lot of us have heard this growing up, I cannot act in ways that white people might respond to things. I've got to smile and wave and take things. And over time you learn, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not what we're doing here. I don't have to take any of that, right? So I feel like that her response was very respectful. I don't feel like that she said anything out of the way. I think that she just made it very clear how these attacks, how she feels, and her putting that stuff on her story. I think for her, it means something to her. Letting people know this is how people are talking to her. She's getting death threats. People are calling her George Floydism, and comparing her to George Floyd. Like, what are we doing? And Trinity, like, to me, that's a valid point. A lot of people think that her acting is not up to standard, right? And to me, that's a valid point. But when people are just saying, oh, you're just angry black woman, you're ghetto, all of those other things, those are not valid arguments, and I respect anybody's opinion on anybody's performance, and I'm trying to make that very clear, because a lot of times, the pushback is, oh, we can't criticize her acting because she's a black woman. No. Or her performance. No. That's different. You can feel any way about anyone's portrayal in a role, right? But it's when you make these things specifically about race and you go to stereotypes that I have an issue, and a lot of us have an issue with, and that's the point. And Max says, glad to see that Star Wars account is proactively addressing the hate. Yeah, I am too. You gotta speak up, especially for your talent, here. And a lot of people, again, like we've talked about before, were upset that Disney warned her that she might get this type of backlash, right? And they said Disney hates Star Wars fans. And they're still upset because they're standing by her. What type of gaslighting bullshit is this? You are proving the point by sending this woman death threats, by then attacking Disney for supporting her and standing by her. You are proving the point. To me, it's like, at this point, it's ridiculous. You've got to just. And then someone made it very clear online, that more of these films and stuff are going to start becoming more diverse, and people are going to just have to deal with it, And it's not just when it's a black person or a black woman. We see these same things when it's a woman. Then they're a Mary Sue. They have it makes no sense for them to be as strong as they are, or that they just have plot armor, or all these other things that you hear about anyone who is not, who is part of a toxic fandom, people who are part of the fandom menace, people who are part of this negative culture, anything that's not a white male, a lot of them have problems with. Any type of representation, right? And I think it's, I think that it's time for us to just be like, look, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Instead of, monetizing your hate, saying how you're watching the programming for free, being disrespectful to this woman, calling her, the ghetto inquisitor. Just don't watch it. But you can't because you're so miserable, right? That you have to watch it. You have to look at it. You have to consume it. And then you have to show us your hatred. Yeah. Hi, PKL. Hi, Shaolin. Hi, Tony. Hi, Brell. Welcome, guys. This was just me giving my quick thoughts. I was going to record a video, and I was like, you know what? We'll just do this live. Anybody, what are you all's thoughts in the chat? I'm curious to what you all thought of her performance. Again, at times in the show, I've even said I felt like she was a bit, overacting at times. But I also think that that the anger that we're getting from her character is very deliberate. I think that maybe it's just very shocking a bit because she is so angry. But I think that that's because of the things that she's experienced, and that she feels like the Jedi turned their back on her in her time of need. Because I'm pretty sure from that opening scene, after we see that prequel, the stuff from the prequels there, that she is that little girl, and she feels like, and the question is, what should we do now? And I think that the feeling of loss and hopelessness and feeling like she had been abandoned made her so angry. And so I feel like maybe she's playing at that intensity and that anger to the degree a bit. But I think that that is a deliberate decision to show the anger and the hurt that she feels. And where is that going to lead her down the road in the show? See, Trinity, I would disagree. I think that they need to let these toxic people know we're not going to stand for this. We're not, that your behavior is inappropriate. We do not support the things that you're saying. And so I feel like that publicly them standing by her and them making that statement is important. PKL says, performance-wise, it's a bit forced, but hopefully we get much more context later to justify her character. PKL, that's how I feel. I feel like at times it's a little bit forced. I feel like that we're only 2 episodes in. We're going to get more context to why she is this way. And I think that hopefully with time, that for me, it'll grow on me a bit, because I know the first time and I bring this up because it kind of reminds me different. I felt like with Moon Knight, with Layla, I wasn't getting enough anything when we first saw her. I felt that she was very one note with her delivery, when she was talking about, talking with Mark, who was really Steven, about this divorce, back and forth. I thought that she sounded very dry and not invested in that relationship. So I thought that the lack of emotion from her character, but as the show progressed, I felt like she improved. So hopefully here we'll get that improvement with her as well. And it'll make her motivations will be very clear, and we'll understand where she's coming from. Jedi Jen says, the only thing I didn't like was the fact that she had a name versus all the other Inquisitors. They're like the fifth brother or the Grand Inquisitor, etc. Why call her by her name? Then that's just my nerd take. They did. I think she has a name, but they call her the third sister. I don't think they call her Reva at any point in the first 2 episodes. if I'm wrong, someone please let me know. But I don't think they actually call her name. I don't think I don't think they've called her Reva at this point. I think that we've only heard her referred to as the third sister. Yeah, Shaolin. Shaolin says facts. Actually, not saying anything publicly is almost like saying it's your problem. Deal with it. I think that you gotta have the backing, especially when this is something that's very much so in the public eye, and it's in its content, and you've got these fans that are backing this. So I think it's very important for Disney to speak up for their talent and to say we stand by her. I do think it's more important for them to say that to her first, but then for the public, and especially for those toxic fans, to let them know that your behavior is unacceptable and we do not stand by it. That's what I think. It's very, very, very important. You know. From Basel LD said, for me, she was great. I have no problem with the acting. Nobody asked her to reshoot the scenes, so they were happy with the way that she played her character. It wasn't live. Okay, Chef Nation, welcome, and thank you for subbing. He says, good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the stream. Ashley, okay, so Tony asked me, Ashley, do you think the Star Wars shows are on par with the Marvel shows? Well, in my opinion, I think Mandalorian is beyond the Marvel shows. Boba Fett, I feel like, for me, Boba Fett was like a mixed bag. At first I really, really, really enjoyed Boba Fett, and then when we got to episode 3, I enjoyed it. But then by the big 4, it kind of started to drop off. And then you got these Mando episodes, which that I really, really loved. But it made no sense for the show. And I didn't like and I really hated the season finale for Boba Fett. So Boba Fett is very, very weak. I enjoy Bad Batch. I have to finish but that's the animated, not the live action. I really enjoyed Boba Fett. Bad Batch. I need to finish that last episode there of that. Obi-Wan, I feel like it opened very strongly. I really, really enjoyed the first episode of Obi-Wan. For me, it was, I really enjoyed it. So I feel at times visually and on that cinematic level, right now, it's hard for me to judge Obi-Wan. But I would say the first episode for me, I really, really loved. The second episode, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. But I don't know. I feel like visually, this show looks like a cinematic level of production compared to what we saw in Moon Knight. So right now, if I compare these first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan to Moon Knight, yeah, this like knocks it out of the park. It just like takes it to another level. Because guys, I really wasn't big on Moon Knight. And we'll see. So for me, yeah, the Star Wars shows fare better for me over the Marvel properties. Trinity says a company don't need to denounce criticism because they aren't promoting or employing those critics. They will happily take the money of all those people, even the ones who pay. I can't see. What did he say? A shit on him. Yeah, the opening scene in the academy with the lightsaber fighting was dope. Like, we needed more of that. Yeah, I really liked that. And then, I was glad to get away from Tatooine, though. I really enjoyed seeing, in episode 2 when they're on this new planet, and it looks very this underground cool world with these really dark but cool colors. So I really like that. What are you all? Anybody else? Your thoughts here about Obi-Wan in the first 2 episodes. Because that's all I really had for you guys, was my thoughts on this. Moon Knight is far, wasn't it at all? Like, again, Trinity, I feel that it's important, especially when people are consuming this content and they're sending an actor death threats. They're making these statements for them to stand behind the actor, and people who consider themselves diehard Star Wars fans. I think it's important for them to say, we will not, we don't stand by your disrespect of our actor. You know, but again, those people are just gonna say use it, but then I can see it on the other end, them saying, "Oh, here's Disney attacking Star Wars fans." You know, but in actuality, we know what it is. You're gonna spin your narrative however you choose to spin it. You know. They're more outraged if they don't get scenes right between Obi-Wan. Yeah, I think that's more important. I think that the outrage should be more about some of the continuity questions that people have here. You know, is the Grand Inquisitor dead? And if he is, that makes no sense, and they've just, destroyed continuity, right? Or other questions, or like Obi-Wan, how would Reva know that Anakin is Darth Vader? These questions, like, criticize these things. Those are the things that really need to be criticized from diehard fans, right? They should address it with the actor. They don't need to denounce that. And it's already clear they don't support that. I think that, again, Trinity, I respect your opinion, but I disagree. I think it's first and foremost, yes, they need to have a private conversation with Moses Ingram, and I hope that they've done that. And then to make a public statement, I think that that's very important to say something publicly. Michael Johnson, welcome. He says, I enjoyed 2 episodes, but people are going way too hard on Moses Ingram about her character because they think she's woke and she's black. That's why I can't stand toxic fans. Hi, Rogue Hero. He says, more senseless fan outrage. Yeah, is what it is. Again, that's what it's about. It's about, you're upset, and then the stuff about Leia, people making fun of her teeth. It's quite ridiculous. Making fun of this little girl's teeth. You gotta be. That's the hard thing about being a child actor, right? Is now these people are attacking a little girl and saying that she's annoying, she's a brat, she's obnoxious. Well, sometimes kids can be obnoxious and sometimes kids can be annoying. I think that I just think that it's very, very, very silly for people to be, constantly coming and attacking children, right? And attacking Moses Ingram. And then the next thing is that, what are they saying? Oh, they just left off and forgot about Luke. Luke's not important. Rogue Hero says Reva's character is dope so far. She's written to be annoying and is playing her role. I think he means people without kids don't understand. Yeah. Why grown people looking at a little kid's teeth? Yeah. And the thing is, like, when you're a small child and you're getting those adult teeth, your teeth are going to be bigger in your mouth, right? Like, we all been kids that lost our teeth, right? And your body is growing into all that, so your teeth, once you've lost teeth and gained new teeth, they're going to be bigger because they talked about her having big teeth, all these things. It's just a little ridiculous. Shaolin says they need to have psychiatric help because then it's like they have an impact on people's mental health. Yeah. Yeah, like Jedi Jin, I was floored because I was like crying in the first episode. I was like, oh, in tears. I really, really loved it. And I liked the second episode. I didn't love it as much as the first, but I really enjoyed it. I remember like texting my friends and like, this is fire. This is amazing. I love this show. And then I remember I went on Twitter, which Twitter we all know is like the most toxic crap ever. And why do I keep going on Twitter? You know, I don't know why. It's like, it's toxic, but it's like that car wreck. Like, you can't look away. Like, you know what you're getting into with Twitter, guys. But somehow, there it is. You look at it. You see it. And then I started seeing all these things, you know, the things that people were saying on Twitter about it. And I was like, and I remember I posted a tweet that was like, you know, basically people's dumb opinions, you know, aren't going to like ruin my love for this character and for this show. And then them saying that, you know, no Obi-Wan Kenobi, that Obi-Wan is not in the show. Guys, you know, Dan Murrell broke it down, and he was in, 61% of the show. And it's like, just because the antagonist is a female, because I think there would have been outrage if she wasn't a black woman. If it was just a female in general, there would have been outrage, right? But then you add the fact that she's a black woman. Then you add the fact that she is a black woman. Then you get that racist undertone and those racist comments and those racist death threats and those people who are racist and then people who are racially insensitive. Okay? There is a difference, you know? And I want to make that very clear. You know? But to attack a woman who was hired to do her job, right? That anybody, I'm telling you, if it would have been an Asian woman, anything, and she is the antagonist of this show, there would have been a problem. Because a lot of times people have issues with when you see, you know, women who are, you know, like these super angry, you know, powerful characters, and she's a villain, right? They don't like that. So Obi-Wan is being cucked, you know, he's a bitch. Why is Obi-Wan a bitch? Because his main antagonist is a woman. That's what, can somebody answer that to me? Like, she cannot be a worthy adversary to him? Why? Because she has a vagina? Like, get the fuck out of here. It's like men, and then they're so scared. It's like, oh, you know, everything, there's no men in roles anymore. Bitch, really? Most of the roles still are occupied by men. Think about it. Trinity says, I'm more pissed about the character portrayal of Leia. Plus, the girl looked to be 6, not 10. And Trinity, that's fair. You're not criticizing her teeth. You're not criticizing her looks. You're giving me a valid reason, Trinity. And that is something that someone can respect. Hi, RJ. I agree, Rogue Hero. And nobody would have cared 10 years ago. Right? And then though we talk about, weaponizing words like woke and things like that, and then making them be these very negative connotations. It's negative things. You know? RJ says the Fandom Menace is now pulling the whataboutism card with Gina and are ignoring how shitty they're being, LOL. That's what it is. It's a deflection. There's got to be the deflection. Oh, this over here, but what about Gina Carano? That's not what this issue's about. I think that I do have, and not to say this, because at times there are issues with forced diversity, right? Right? Things that don't make sense. Things that you feel like are just promoting an agenda that don't feel natural to the story. Example, Batwoman didn't feel like a natural story. It felt like, especially with season 2, she's just standing there reading off statistics. I think that here we need to really give it more time here. I feel like, for me, I understand Reva's anger a little bit. I don't understand the gravity of why maybe she's so angry. But we're only 2 episodes in, and it's for us to figure that out. But I don't felt like her character at any time felt like it was forced and didn't belong within the context of the story. Right? I felt she fit in. Plus, to me, it made sense for me. While this character is here. So we'll see, episode 3, like I said, hopefully we get more context to why she's angry. Things that I really, really did not like in the show. Like, we kind of talked about those horrible chase scenes, her and her acrobatics. Trash. Like, why, like, the acrobatics and all of that didn't make sense. The interaction with Owen, I felt a little, I was like, the threatening, like, because she automatically went there, but I guess with him, I felt like that was a very drastic move, but I think that they're trying to show us that she will do anything and everything to catch Obi-Wan. And right now, we're kind of scratching our heads because we're like, why are you so angry about it? But we'll figure it out. I think that a lot of people who are not going to use this as an excuse for their racist rhetoric are willing to give it time and to really see how the story plays out. And to see if her motivations make clear sense in the context of the story. And that's what's important here. Nate said she's an undercover Jedi. He said she was very janky. Hi, Basco. Yeah. I bet Obi-Wan was her mentor or going to be her mentor, and she feels like he let her down, which is why she's mad. That's a really good point there. Shaolin says her character is about action. She doesn't have time for questions. Exactly. She is about getting it done. Right? At any means necessary. And a lot of times, we see a lot of male characters like that. I'm just saying it. I'm not trying to get on my, vagina soapbox here or anything, guys. I'm just saying. We see it. We do. So the fact that her character is like about, shoot first, ask questions later, people don't like it. Trini said, here's the thing. You don't get better at something by being around people or similar skill level. You have to be around those with greater skills to improve yours. Factual. Hating, if they do a bait and switch, I'm done. I don't really think there is a bait and switch. I think that this is still very much an Obi-Wan story, right? But then you do have a secondary lead in this story. But I still feel like that the main focus is going to be on Obi-Wan and, him letting go of that sense of, guilt that he has, right? And how does he let that go? Right? The guilt that he has for what happened with Obi-Wan, right? The guilt of letting the other Jedi down and them losing. And there's nothing wrong with, Obi-Wan, his spirit being broken. I've heard a lot of that. Oh, he's broken. Imagine the events of what happened in the prequels. It makes a lot of sense for him to feel that way. Look at all he's lost. And that is a redemption arc, right? And I feel like that maybe that some of these idiots don't understand story beats. Hi, Arkham. How are you? But that's my general thoughts here, right? People just need to relax and watch the show, SMH, or don't watch it. Like, not everything is for everyone, right? But specific people they're gonna watch because they monetize hate, and they're gonna watch it and hate it, no matter what. They're gonna hate it. Hi, love. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I agree. I feel like the Grand Inquisitor with her, though, I do kind of agree with those points. It felt like that she just got like a light slap on the wrist, that the way that they spoke with her, it didn't really feel it felt kind of unnatural, that they really didn't do anything, it was just like, you need to stop it now. So that felt a little weird. I do agree with that sentiment. Hey, Eddie says Mecca is about to make 100 videos saying Moses attacked her. I know, guys. It's about to get real this morning. Mecca's going to be like on... I will not watch her videos. I will go look at the thumbnail. I mean, and if she says something like extremely ridiculous that like I see, or there's something, a clip out of context where she says something ridiculous, for me, then I might take in the full thing, because I don't like to see things out of context. That's the only thing with me. I'm not like a person that's into sound bites or anything like that. But just as a general rule, no, I don't plan on going to click on her page and look at her videos or anything like that. But if there's something that she says that I see that might like make me think, oh, I'm a little suspect, then I will check out the material. But because I don't believe in sound bites and clips. You got to have the full picture and all the information. But we'll see. I know Eddie, whatever she says, I'm sure whatever she says, I'll just check out Eddie's video, and Eddie will break it down and give me all the news and all the tea on that, right? Because Eddie is good. He will give you the tea and the news. So yeah, guys, Jedi Jen says, that's what I say. Let the story play out. Then give your criticism. We have only seen 1/3 of the story. Chill out, people. I know. It's just like... Sorry, my neighbor's truck. I had to pause. Like, I don't like that loudness. Guys, when I'm on stream. It says, nobody watched... Second Street Marvel said, nobody watched Mecha Random anyway, except LB. Have you seen her views to sub count? What? Who is this person? Black people really struggle for subs on YouTube? I don't know. I'm not... Black women deserve more subs on YouTube? Yeah. Just give me all the subs. But I feel like anybody needs subs. Like YouTube's a hard game, really. You know, I'm not getting into that. That really... But, you know, I feel like YouTube is just difficult, you know, it subs, you know. Especially when you're me and you took a break for a long time. But, yeah, sub. Second Street Marvel, possibly. You know, me, I'm not, like, I don't, you know, I'm not getting into like YouTube games. For strictly, I want to stick to the issue at hand. What we're talking about here. Mecha Random wears low tops for her simp fans. Possibly. She's collab with Mecha Ash. Yeah. I don't think she would talk to me, Eddie. You know me, I'll talk to anybody. Even if we have, you know, different viewpoints. I would talk to her. It probably would be like a weird conversation, but I don't think she would talk to me. I mean, who am I? And then she wouldn't talk to me because my viewpoint's different from hers. You know, she wouldn't want to speak to me, but I would do it. I think, Eddie, you have a better shot because you're like, you know, you got that smile, and she'll be like, oh, look at this unassuming guy, and then when you started to wreck her, that would be funny. Diabetes and crop tops bring all the simps to the yard. Yeah. Facts. You know? But anyway, that's about all I got for you guys this morning. Morning. If anybody else has any comments before we jump out of here, we've got a few more minutes. This was just a quick thing that I wanted to do and talk to you guys this morning. Final thoughts from you guys. Not like that, Eddie. I meant like wrecker, like in like, you know what I'm saying? You'd read like, not like that. I don't mean it in a sexual way. Not sexual ways, guys. I didn't mean it like that. I meant like with your words, you would crush her, destroy her, end her, make her cry. She'd be sad. And talking about, and then like, let's not even forget about the things that she said about, you know, not liking kids and school shootings. JM, I played at the top of the stream. She had actually posted on her IG. She posted on her IG there some nasty comments that she was getting from Star Wars fans. So that's what we're referring to. Oh, she showed the statements. People telling her that she's the George Floydium of all George Floydiums. No one's going to remember her. That they didn't know that Inquisitors spoke Ebonics. There were several things. And these were just the things that she posted on her story. Then she made a statement Jay. And then Star Wars released a statement that they back Moses Ingram. And they do not support the negative fans. Thank you, Basco. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all. And then PKL says, how do you think the Johnny Depp Amber Heard verdict will go? Oh gosh. Well, if it's based on those 3 points that originally that was laid out in the opening arguments, regardless of what public opinion is, I don't know if Johnny Depp is going to win here, because the trial was based on 3 points. And again, if there was even one time he done any of those things, and this is not me supporting Amber Heard, guys. I'm talking about this from a judicial court of law standpoint. That's it, guys. If the jury follows those specific things, if there was one point, because I didn't watch a lot of it, because it just, after a while, I was just like, oh, this is so like depressing, and like it's weird. Like, even though it's like now it's been brought public because they're public people and articles and things were done in the public, it's just like yucky. Like, I don't like to involve myself in people's personal relationships, because it's just weird. But I think that she's a shitty human being, of course, absolutely. But I don't know based off the 3 points if he's going to win here. That's it. I think that in the court of public opinion, Johnny Depp is completely been vindicated by mostly everyone, and people see that. I mean, I think that he did do some toxic things as well, and I think that we all have to pay attention to what part we might play in our own suffering, in our own situations. But without a doubt, she did some things that were just beyond me. And I think that a lot of the things and the missteps on his part probably were from, issues with dependency issues and things like that. And I think that she is just a fucking asshole and very abusive. She physically abused this man, gaslighted the man when he said, "You hit me," and she tried to downplay that, and we've heard that on audio. But then we've also seen nasty text message that he sent about wanting to kill her. But I think that she is absolutely, without a doubt, the lowest of the low, and I think that she is done when it comes to her acting career. And I don't even know if Johnny is completely going to be on the mend here, but hopefully he will find a path forward. Yeah, exactly, Shaolin. Even if he loses, he really shows Amber to the lying, narcissistic, evil person she is, which is a win for Johnny, in my opinion. Agreed. In the court of public opinion, Johnny wins. But I'm your girl, Ashley, aka The Widow. You guys, maybe be back at some point. I don't know. Probably some videos today, because I'm off. I'm not going to be working today. Again, I ask for everybody to send wonderful energy, prayers, manifestation to my family, to my beautiful aunt. Who's still not doing very well. I appreciate you all for watching. Until next time, I'm out of here. Bye.